According to research by the Pew Research Center, 50% of all Americans said they used a social networking website. As social networking websites become increasingly popular, I hear more and more about occurrences of young adults being turned down from a job because of something offending they posted on the internet. When I mention these issues to friends and acquaintances, it is not a surprise that many say they've had experiences where their employer checked their social networking website. Most companies do a complete background check on their candidates, and checking popular social networking sites for the candidate's page is part of that process. Social media platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter are now an option many employers use to screen candidates for hire because they are the most widely used. Personal websites can tell a lot about the individual. For example, a person who curses frequently online as casual conversation with their friends may make an employer view the person as uneducated or of a lower socioeconomic class. Reppler, a company that helps manage an individual's online image across different social networks, commissioned a new survey of 300 hiring types to see how they're using social networking sites to screen candidates. They reported that 91% of employers will check out job candidates' social networking sites during the hiring process, and 69% of those employers have actually rejected a job candidate because of something they saw on their social networking site.
As Nicholas Carr states in his article, "Is Google making us stupid?" The internet has made information that used to be a hassle to acquire now accessible with a few clicks on the web. Therefore, a consumer should be wise about how they use social media, because poor judgment on the internet can cost an individual their job or harm their reputation. A person's Facebook page is a representation of how a person acts when he or she thinks nobody in authority is looking, said Gene Morber. But sometimes those people in authority are looking. A right-minded person would never be immature at an interview, but that is what they might be unknowingly doing if they have a picture of themselves pointing the middle finger and wearing a t-shirt with an inappropriate saying on their website.
A picture that boasts about how you can chug huge amounts of alcohol may be impressive to your peers, but it will not amuse an employer. It is vital that any inappropriate picture associated with an individual is removed immediately, because when someone says Facebook cost them a job, I shake my head in disgust and say, Facebook did not cost you a job. Being an idiot did.
Even if you are already hired for a job, this does not mean that you should no longer worry about what you post on the internet. It is needless to say that most people that are at their workplace would rather be somewhere else. They may also be frustrated by things such as the workload, the lack of excitement, and management. Expressing their feelings and being able to rant freely may help cope with their stress many workers face. A person would be obliged to vent to their family and friends about their work life after a tiresome day. The fastest way to get their rants to a huge audience is through social media. But if the individual wants to keep their job, they should keep their job-related griping offline, because their employer may be watching.
Rather than viewing social networking websites as a danger to your future employment endeavors, it can also be beneficial. It is important that a social networker uses their site to their advantage by giving a positive impression of their personality. Rather than listing your interests on Facebook as unattended children and Justin Bieber, you may want to consider showing interest in volunteering at the homeless shelter. Instead of tweeting about how you wished for raging yeast infection towards your previous boss, tweet about how much you enjoy protecting the wildlife.
Every individual should limit any possibly offending posts on the internet that may stigmatize their reputations. With a little common sense and a little bit of caution of what is posted on your social media site, you can see yourself being very successful in the workforce.